Hello. Hi, everyone. So good to be back. Welcome. Welcome to my studio, welcome to my channel, and welcome to another episode of Alex Likes to Knit. Yeah, I'm excited to be recording again. I feel like my last video for episode 11, people kind of actually watched it a lot more than have been watching the other ones, and I'm so excited that my videos are going out to more knitters and that I can share with a little bit more people. So if you are new here, I am so happy you're here and I want to meet you and I want to hear what you're working on. Just leave me a comment. But yeah, I realize I haven't been really introducing myself. So if I do have some new people watching, my name is Alex Chappell. I am an artist and a knitting enthusiast. I live in San Antonio, Texas. So I spend a ton of time knitting for my job. I am a painter and an artist. So if you're interested in that, I'll put my website and stuff up. You'll notice if you look into my channel that I make videos about knitting, and then I try to, every other video, make videos about my painting and my art business. So if you're interested in that, you can go check those out. That's me. I'm an artist and a knitter. So let's just get right into it. I'm excited to share a very, very cute finished object. I have a few things to share, but let's just hop right in with the most exciting one. And that is the Lucky Dog sweater that I finished for my dog Otis. So this doesn't look like much, but the pictures of him in it, oh my gosh. So we're just gonna take a moment for these photos because he is an angel. And I'll put I have some different kind of angles, so I'll put those up and tell you a bit about the pattern. This is a worsted weight pattern. I don't know what the recommended yarn was. What I decided to use was Barocco Vintage, which is a machine washable yarn because it's part acrylic, part wool, part nylon. So it's definitely soft, but it's also going to be totally washable and dryable, which is great. I did not block this. It seemed kind of silly to block a sweater for a dog, you know? But it's really, really, really cute on him. And the construction was pretty easy. If you're looking for a dog sweater pattern, I definitely recommend this one. You start at the bottom here. This is going to go over the base of their tail. And you work this flat with ribbing, and then it's stocking out with rib on the sides. You connect in the round and do ribbing on the front, and you have some increases going along this part. But the instructions are really clear, even though it does have a different shape. You kind of split for sleeves and do the front and back separate. And then join it back together and have decreases up the chest, and then start doing ribbing all the way around. So I did this with the Barocco Vintage yarn and a size 5 needle, which the recommended is probably larger than that. It might be a 7 or something, I'm not sure. But my gauge was about 19 stitches per 4 inches, which is really good to know because I have more of this yarn. And so I'm kind of using this also as a swatch for a sweater that I want to make for myself, which is perfect, so easy, because I'm not really into swatching. It's fine, I'll do it, but how great is this that I already have this part was worked flat and this part was worked in the round? And so I can measure this and get measurements for a stockinette cardigan that I want to make for myself in the same yarn. And I'm glad that I know the feel and the drape of it. It's warm, but it's not crazy heavy. Really excited about the one for myself that'll sort of kind of match Otis's sweater. So thank you, Otis, for modeling this for me this morning. He looks adorable, and I hope we get some more cold weather so that he can wear it. Yay! Oh, one more thing about this. I knit him the size large, and just something to note if you are looking at this pattern or you want a dog sweater pattern, my dog is not a huge dog. He's very medium in my opinion. He comes up to my knee and he is 50 pounds. And the sizing goes up to an extra large. So maybe the extra large would fit like a large dog, like a lab or something, but an extra large dog, like you probably wouldn't be able to make them this pattern unless you wanted to modify it. More of the, seems like they have more of the teeny tiny sizes, not as many of the large sizes. But my dog, for reference, is 50 pounds. He is a like half pit bull, half tiny dog. So he looks like a tiny pit bull. And I mean, it looks great on him. I was really careful to follow the directions as closely as I could and not try to go off course. And I'm so glad I did because it fits him really well. I measured him and I was like, okay, I'm going to knit the large and I'm going to follow the directions. And it worked out. It was great. So if I want to make him another one next year or something, there's some other Purl Soho dog sweater patterns. So I could use his size, do a large in a different pattern, or do this one in a different color because it's kind of basic. I don't know. He'll definitely get another sweater at some point, but yeah, this is super funny looking on this, but on him, it's just perfect. The ribbing on his little chest is so cute. Amazing. Okay. Next up. I did finish two things that I don't have with me, so I'll talk about those really quick and put up pictures. Last episode, I talked about a hat that I was working on for Josh, and I finished it and I gifted it to him. It came out really good and he really likes it. I randomly FaceTimed my sister the other day and he was wearing it. I wasn't even there, like he didn't even know that I was going to call, and he was wearing the hat that I made, so I know he likes it. That's good. That was just a worsted weight 2x2 ribbed hat from the Essential Beanie pattern, so talked more details about that last time, but did finish that up. Another thing that I finished, I had not started last time, and I don't have, but let me show you this yarn because it's so pretty. So I have this wound into a hand wound ball now. This is the Christmas market color from Ruby and Roses. So I got the Ruby and Roses yarn Advent, and this was the Christmas Day full skein colorway that came with it. Super pretty. It has this kind of like purple and like brown gold, like it's just so pretty. And this was one of the Advent colors that was in the Advent, and I just thought they coordinated well because of the purple. I made a pair of socks using the Christmas market as the main skein and the purple as the contrast color. I did the texture pattern from the String of Lights sock by Sock Witchery, which is a really good one. It's just a knit and purl thing. It's super easy to memorize and everything. So I wanted to have something a little bit interesting and textured to bring on my trip that I went on last week, because I knew I was going to have a lot of travel time and I wanted something that wasn't just stockinette, because that helps me, like, I can feel like I can work on it for longer if it's not just stockinette sometimes. So I did that String of Lights pattern, and I had part way through the first sock whenever I got to my sister's place, and she was really liking them. So she asked if she could have them when they were done. So I finished them before I left and left them with her, but I did get a picture. And I have the yarn that I can do something else with, maybe Shorty Socks. Maybe just like a yarn cozy or something with this one might be nice, but I don't know. Finished that one. Oh, and then one more thing. I was working on these, or I think I maybe just had one sock done last episode, but I finished the other of my blue Shorty Socks. And I love them. I need to start wearing them now. I hadn't pulled them out again. They've just been sitting on my desk, but I finished them on the trip, like on the way there. I brought them on the trip, but they were almost done. So finished them up and woven the ends while I was there, and now they're ready to wear, and I just haven't done it yet, but very excited. All three of these yarns were colors from the Ruby and Roses Advent. She gave each of the colorways a name. They're all like Christmas themed, and it was really cute, but I did not keep track of the names of all of them, but that's okay. I did mention last time, and I had got some comments about it, that I put the soft folds over elastic in the cuff of the Shorty Socks, and it really, really helps the fit. And I'm like addicted to that now. It's my perfect Shorty Sock recipe, and it works really well for me. So if anyone tries that out, or if you know of a pattern that does something similar, let me know. I'd love to hear your experience with it, because I think people have some mixed opinions on if you should put elastic in your sock band. But yeah, just a new pair of Shorty Socks. I did the blue, I split my 20 grams in half. So I did the whole 10 grams. And then the light blue, I just did until, I did 30 rows or something like that, maybe 40, so that they would be the same, and then switch to the white so I could use 3 colors. So I have a tiny bit left of the light blue and then a good bit left of the white. But I used all of the darker blue color, and I like how these look. Yay! So 4 finished objects, that's pretty good. It's been like 2 weeks. I've just been loving knitting on socks lately. I will be casting on a bigger project soon, maybe today, for that cardigan that I have been talking about, I feel like, for a while now. Today might be the day to cast that on, and I'll be sharing more about that in the next episode. But let's talk works in progress. They're socks. Yeah, so let's get into it. I had talked last episode about bringing that Christmas market yarn on my trip, and then I also brought this yarn as a like backup for if I finished those socks, and I did. So I casted these on before I left. Look how fun this is. So crazy. I really like how this is coming out. This is Yarn Bee yarn, like the Hobby Lobby brand. And I got this in a D-stash. I don't shop at Hobby Lobby. But yeah, someone had like a bunch of skeins of this that they had at a really good price at a D-stash, and I do so much knitting for other people. I was like, oh, that'll be nice to like get some kind of random like colors and stuff, and I know that it works well for socks. So, but I really liked this one, so I'm definitely keeping these for myself. This color is called Shibori Blue, which is like exactly what it is. It was like tied, and then it has like an indigo and a natural color. And I just love how speckled and like Dalmatian-y the sock is coming out. And I'm just doing my vanilla sock formula for this. So what I do for that typically is I will cast on 56 stitches, 2x2 rib for 15 rounds. For this sock, I knit 40 or 50 rounds. For this one, I knit 40 rounds for the leg. I do a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and I make the heel a bit deeper than I think like average for a 56 round sock. I do 18 slip stitch repeats in the heel. Do a little heel turn, pick up the sides, do a decrease every round until I get back to 56 stitches. And then I usually do about 55 rounds in the foot. Kind of depends on the gauge and stuff. I'll kind of try it on and see where I'm at. So that is my vanilla sock pattern, my vanilla sock recipe. I learned how to knit vanilla socks. If you don't knit socks and you want to, I definitely recommend Denise, who is Earth Tones Girl here on YouTube. Her, like, what's it called? It's called like No Fear Shorty Socks, and she has this really extensive collection of videos about like how to knit your first sock. And I decided like 2 years ago that I just had to knit some socks, and I did not have very much knitting experience at that point, but I got really into her videos. I got some sock yarn, I got the needles that she recommended, and I am using pretty much the exact same technique still. I've changed the sizing that I use, and some of the counts and stuff are different than like what's in her pattern, and I've just simplified some things, I think. But that is such a good place to start if you want to learn how to knit socks. So I definitely recommend that, and I will link it in the description if you're interested. But yeah, this is a simple one. I'm getting pretty close to being done with this. It's the first sock. And then I'll have another sock to knit. Pretty basic. Then I have another sock whip that is just a little bit more fun, and then I have sort of a bonus whip that I started. Okay, so I went to the yarn store. I had this idea to do Mardi Gras socks for my aunts. I have 2 aunts who are like, they celebrate Mardi Gras like so hard. They love it. I'm from Louisiana, and if you're not super familiar, purple, green, and gold are the colors of Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is on Valentine's Day this year. It's always the day before Ash Wednesday. So it's coming up. And I thought it'd be fun to send my aunts both a pair of Mardi Gras socks. So I went to the yarn store and picked out colors because they didn't really have good colors that would work. We got purple, green, and yellow. So these are not the perfect colors, but I think they're pretty good. They definitely are giving Mardi Gras. Fix me. Yes. Okay, so they definitely are giving Mardi Gras. My vision for this was those like long sleeved collared shirts with the really thick stripes that are purple, green, and gold. Like that's a classic Mardi Gras look. It's kind of retro, thrift store vibes. That's really what I was going for. I'll put up a picture. People from like, if you're not from like Louisiana, Mississippi, like you might not even know what I'm talking about at all. But this kind of shirt is like an iconic vintage Mardi Gras look. So I was gonna go for those kinds of colors and then do the thick stripes in the sock. They didn't have the perfect colors. I went with these because they're all the same base, and I was feeling funny about getting different bases. This one is Barocco Vintage Sock, which is nice because it's fully like washable. It's part acrylic, and I have used it before and I like the feel of it, and it like really is washable, which is great. So I thought this would be nice to make their socks out of. My qualm with this is the purple and the green are heathered and the yellow is not. And that is one of those things that bothers me. And the purple and green are also like fuzzier than the yellow, which is annoying. I feel like it defeats the purpose of me purposely buying the same bases. But that's on me. I could have ordered the yarn. There's a lot of sock yarns online that come in like tons and tons and tons of colors. So I could have done a knit picks order or something, but I was thinking about this kind of last minute and wanted to get started. And I had a gift card, okay? I had a gift card to my local yarn store. And I always want to support my local yarn store anyway. And I don't really need yarn. So I just got these from my local yarn store. They're $10 each. And they really do look cute together. I'm not hating on them. I do like them. And I need to get used to them because after I'm done with this sock, I have 3 more. I'm going to do, so for this one, I went a little bit off of my normal vanilla sock recipe. I wanted to do 60 stitches around instead of 56 to give them a little bit more room and have more of a house sock feel, like not as tight. So I cast it on 60 stitches. Well, then when you cast on 60 stitches, you don't have a multiple of 4 on each side unless you change it to be 28 and 32. But I was like, no, I want to do 30 and 30 on the front and the back needle. So I did 30 and 30. So I did a 2x1 rib. So the rib is like a lot smoother, which is nice. It doesn't scrunch in as much. But yeah, I think it looks good. I did 20 rounds of rib. And then the stripes are 10 rounds wide. So I did 10 rounds of green, 10 of yellow, 10 of purple, 10 of green, 10 of yellow. And then for the heel, I did 1 round of purple, just to make the back, like where you start these slip stitches, it can get really like bumpy if you're changing colors right there. So I did 1 round of purple, knit the heel and heel turn in purple, and then did the first 9 rows of the gusset stitches in purple so that I don't mess up the stripe sequence on the top of the foot. Right? And yeah, this one's not too far from being done now that I'm on the foot. And then I will do another one just like this. And then I think I'm going to make them like a not fully matching pair. I think I'm going to do the green as the main color for the other pair. That way they can tell them apart. I'll do green and like purple, yellow, green, purple, yellow, green on the heel. I'll see what happens with the toe. I'm not sure if the toe will be purple, but that would be nice if it was. Yeah, so Mardi Gras socks. I have a lot to do on this. And I want to get these done as soon as I can because I'd love to send these to them before Mardi Gras. But we'll see what I can do. Yeah. So I did start one other new thing that is a little bit of a bigger, longer project. But I'm excited to have it started. Let me show you guys what I did. Okay, so remember these colors, right? From the socks that I made for Abby. I was thinking about how much I like these. And my flat lay that I had shown last episode and all my yarn and my scraps and everything, and I really wanted to start a scrappy project. So I was like, I should do a crochet granny square blanket. So I made some little crochet granny squares that are the very beginning of a little crochet blanket. So let's see, that's the back. This is one with the Christmas market colorway. Like variegated yarns like that have like drastic color changes look so pretty in crochet. So I love that. This is the mini that I used with that one. So I did one for each of those. I really love the color for that. And then this one is another yarn that I bought on my trip. I just wanted to use a little bit of it because it's like a fade. Oh, I have it right here. It goes from like light yellow to dark yellow. My sister picked this out for her next pair of socks. And I was like, let me do a granny square with each. So I split it in 2 because it like goes from light yellow to dark yellow and there's a drastic change, and then light yellow to dark yellow again so that you can make a pair of gradient socks. But I was like, let me use some of the light yellow because I don't do a super tall leg on my socks, and it just seemed like it had a lot of the light yellow and I kind of liked the dark yellow more. I don't know. I was like, I'll do a little granny square in with each of the balls. So then I have 2 light yellow granny squares too. And that's it. I just got started on this yesterday, and it's definitely just going to be a super long-term project. I wanted something that I could use my leftover sock yarns in. I had started making granny squares a few months ago. They're actually up on my wall up there. And I was holding sock yarn double and using a needle that a hook that I had like thrifted. But I felt like they were coming out kind of loose and the color combinations were just getting kind of weird. So I could hold my yarn like on itself, but I was like, I'll just do a fingering weight, like super lightweight blanket, and it'll just take forever. And that's okay. I really don't care. So I have a little stack of 4 granny squares. I bought a crochet hook whenever I went to the yarn store. Where is it? It is a size D, which I believe is 4 or 3.75 millimeters. And yeah, I'm using fingering weight yarn held single. And I do 5 rounds. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, the outer edge has 5 clusters on one side. And I'm really happy with these, and one day I will figure out how to join them into a blanket. Or I'll get annoyed with them before that and make it into something smaller, like a pillow cover or something. Who knows, but they're very cute. And I have a lot more scraps and minis and stuff that I really like, so I'm going to keep making these. And I think I'm going to keep doing like multiples of each color, because why not? Especially colors that I really like. Like I have a lot more of this, so I might do a few more in this one. I could probably do 1 or 2 more in this one. But yeah, like colors that I really like, I'll just start kind of adding to my little collection. Yeah. That is the end of everything that I am working on. Let me talk a little bit about my trip for those of you who want to stick around. I went to visit my sister who is living and working in Park City, Utah. And it was amazing. I got a little bit of footage, a lot of pictures while I was there. So I'll show you guys a little bit of that and come back to you. Great. I made a lot of art. I did a lot of knitting while I was there, and I just had a really great time. And my sister and her boyfriend Josh are so supportive of my knitting and my art and everything, and they're just the best. They did not want me to be hungry. They did not want me to be bored, even though I love being bored. It was just such a great trip. Even like my travel days with my knitting and reading that I was doing, I was just happy. But the views were incredible. The snow was just so pretty, and the way the trees like kind of, they don't grow out of the snow, but like the snow covers up like the bottom of them, and the branches kind of are coming out of the snow, and they have these little pockets where the snow kind of melts like around the edge of the branch. It was just so pretty to me. So I took a lot of photos. I did some drawings of that. So it was just fun to have a lot of time for art and knitting and spending time with my sister. So it was really great. So thank you, like everyone who, wished me safe travels and everything. It was great. And yeah, I'm happy to be back. I have a lot of art making and applications and stuff to get to now this week, but I'm excited about it. So that is it. That's all I have for you for today. A little bit of a quicker episode, which I think will be nice. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And if you watched all the way to the end, you have to like and subscribe, for real. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it if you did. So yeah. Thank you so much. I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you get a lot of knitting done, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.